Hey guys, and welcome to another video in the No Hands SEO video tutorial series. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to write effective custom comments so that you can add a lot of relevancy to all of your backlinks and help to give them the best improvement to your SEO efforts. Okay, now there's a few areas where you can add custom comments. One is in the profile handler up here. First you need to select your profile and then click edit, and then you'll see down here there's a custom comments box. Now you can enter the comments in there how you wish, but obviously as it's just a plain box with not a lot of controls or information around it, it can be quite difficult to write effective spinning text and see what sort of output you're going to get from that. So if you are going to use the profile handler for entering in your custom comments, I'd advise you to right click on the box and click Open Text Rewriter. Now it will pop up a box like this, which if you've seen the other video or if you've already used the Add Profile Wizard, this should look fairly familiar to you because it's virtually the same as what's in the Add Profile Wizard. Okay, so anything that you type into here and click save, it's going to add it into the form there. But I don't want to show you with that. I'm going to go to the Add Profile Wizard as if I'm adding a new profile and show you using the controls in there, because it's a really good idea that you get comfortable with the Add Profile Wizard as much as possible, because obviously the most efficient way to get your profiles set up is to get them set up how you want perfectly the first time, so that obviously you don't need to then go into the profile handler and change up a load of settings. You can just get it right first time. Right, okay, so just like the video where I was adding a profile, I'm going to use my nohandsseo.com website as an example. So for No Hands SEO, obviously I'm promoting a website which is selling a product, the product being No Hands SEO. So it's a product about SEO or backlinking, it's a software. So I want to be getting keywords around that niche into the comment. So obviously I'm going to want to say No Hands SEO in some or all of the comments. I'm going to want to have a mention of SEO tool or backlinking tool, or things like that, just to give that added bit of relevancy to my comments. So for example, I might put something along the lines of No Hands SEO is a great backlinking tool for improving your search engine rankings. Now I'll start off this way for nearly all of my comments. I'll write them out, just making sure that they make sense. So I'll write them out, and then from there I'll add the spinning in after. Now I don't know if you're aware of what spinning is or not, but it effectively allows you to write one comment, and once they've been spun, that single comment will have certain variations added to it. You'll see as the video goes on, as I add more spinning text to it, that you're able to add in an incredible amount of variation into just a few sentences. So I'm going to leave that as the first comment for now, and then I'm going to show, well, I'm going to write another comment. So for improving your search engine rankings, I like to use an SEO tool like No Hands SEO, and let's go for a third one. I find the easiest way to get to page 1 of Google is to create backlinks with tools like No Hands SEO. Right, so now we have our three. There are many ways that you can do this. I mean, you could integrate an automated spinning tool, and then once you've done that, a little button will pop up here which says auto spin, and then when you've written out all of your comments you can just click auto spin and have it done automatically for you. Now I'm going to be covering that in a future video where I show how to integrate some of these really easy to use automated spinners, and some of them do actually have really good results. So especially things like Spinner Chief, you know, it's free, you get 20 spins a day, so if you're only adding a few profiles here and there, something like Spinner Chief could be really good. But that's not the focus of this video. I'm going to be showing you how to do the spinning yourself, so let's get started. Right, so for No Hands SEO I may want to change that to NH SEO or something like that. So what will happen with that is, well, actually, for ease of use, I'm just going to paste that out of here for now, and I'll be bringing them back in a minute once I've shown you the spinning. So what we do is we put an open curly bracket one side to signify that this is an area that we are going to be spinning, and then we close it with the opposite closing curly bracket, and in the middle we separate with this this vertical line separator here. And now it's not an L, it's not an I, and it's not a 1, it's a vertical separator character. Okay, it's there's nothing really like it. Oh, it's not an exclamation mark as well, it's the vertical line. Yeah, all you need to do is you start with the curly bracket, you end with the closing curly bracket, and you show that each separate variation is separated with this vertical line. Now I could put in as many different things as I wanted, and you'll see down here, if I click respin, you'll see all the different variations popping in to the output text. Now obviously I don't want any of that because that was just an example. So I'm going to go through and not do every single word as such, but try and spin as many of the different words, but also try and keep it readable as much as possible. So great can be changed for amazing, or brilliant, excellent, easy to use, automated, and all these different things. And we can change backlinking tool to, say, SEO tool, or actually we can change backlinking to SEO to SEO backlinking, and then after that we can do the tool spinnings. So we do tool, app, application, software. For improving we can change to bettering, bolstering, or solidifying, which may not seem right, but I think it does make sense. You see we've got the example output down here. It says No Hands SEO is a brilliant SEO backlinking app for solidifying your search engine rankings. Makes perfect sense to me, so that's fine. Search engine rankings, we could change to rankings or search positions, or even position in the search rankings will be fine. So you can see we've got lots and lots of variation from just that one short piece of comment text. Okay, now we can bring in one of the other ones and do the same for that. Now, as I said before, each new line is treated as a new comment. You don't want to be adding in a blank line because there's just no need for that. A blank line is, you know, no comment. So for each line we want to do that. And we change for when, so when improving your search engine rankings, for when change improving your to when getting better, and then we change search engine rankings to search engine positions, and just rankings or ranking in Google. I could be changed to we. I like to prefer, enjoy. It's going a bit off script, but to be honest, not everybody's English is perfect on the internet. I don't know if you've ever noticed. So to have the odd grammatical error is not a big problem, providing it's readable. So long as somebody can look at it and think, yeah, that's written by a human, you're doing your job. And really, you want to be getting your keywords in there, or your ideal anchor text, to use an SEO tool like No Hands SEO. Now, you may think, I don't always want that to be, say, SEO tool or backlinking tool. You might think occasionally I'd rather have a comment with the anchor text in it, so that when you submit a link, your link reads, say in this example, the link will read a backlinking app. You might want to substitute the term SEO tool for backlinking app dependent on that post. So you'd put in the % anchor text in all capitals %. Now obviously it's easier to just click on the tag that you want to import. Now there's a lot of these in here, some of them self-explanatory, some of them not so much, but I'll go through those in a second. So you can do that rather than adding in purely spinning text, and that will allow you to add a lot of variation. It's very easy, obviously it's just a single click to add in these different tags. So now we have those, change that like that. So we change like to such as or similar to. Now with that done, you can see how just writing a couple of sentences can really give you a massively different bunch of comments. Now that's a great way to get relevancy and variation in your comments, as well as having a totally unique and natural looking linking pattern. Okay, so not only that, I've mentioned the tags, and we'll go down. You might be thinking, well, if each comment is on a separate line, how do I get comments that span multiple lines? Obviously, if you're wanting to write longer comments, say you're wanting to add a lot of relevancy and content to your comment, you might want to, say, split it into paragraphs, so you might want a bunch of different lines. But you can do that with the new line tag. See, just as simple as that. So for instance, I'm going to get rid of that just for now, and I'm going to pull in some unspun text that I wrote a minute ago. Now say I want to finish that off and write in another sentence, such as SEO is the act of improving search engine rankings. Okay, I never said getting a lot of emails. Never said I was going to make this sound brilliant. So you might want to have multiple lines. Put new line, wrong place. Put in another new line there, and there we have it. You can see in the example output you have 2 lines, and then you can carry on typing away, and it will pop up in the example text. So just because each comment is on a different line doesn't mean that you can't have comments that span multiple lines. You just have to use the tags. Obviously that doesn't have to be hard. All you need to do is highlight where you want the new line, and then there you have it, new line, and then you can obviously get rid of that, and it's gone. Now there's a lot more down here. I've shown you the new line and the anchor text. You can also enter in the name the name of the supposed person who's making the post. Now I forget the number exactly, but I know there's over 1,000 unique names that come bundled with No Hands SEO. So if you want to add in a bunch of relevancy, a bunch of variation, you can do that with names. Now obviously if you have some spinning text which has say 10 different outputs and you're adding in 1,000 names to that variation, now all of a sudden you have 10,000 variations just from adding that single name tag. So for example, if you wanted to sign off your comment, you could add written by name. Now it probably won't show up in the output example, or in there as it would happen. Now all of a sudden you have 10,000 different variations just by adding in that single tag there. Now also you can add in email address, which will, whenever No Hands SEO sends a post out, it will create a random email address so that there's no sort of pattern behind the links, and obviously the different spam plugins and things like that, they're not going to flag any email address. So you can add the email address, the random email address that's sent out with each submission, simply by entering email. Okay, nice and easy. So just as all of these are. And post URL, that is the web page address that you are promoting with that post. So you can use that, or just below that you can use the domain. That's the domain of the post, that the URL that you're promoting at that time. Now down here there is also the target page details. Now these aren't what you are promoting, these are what you are posting the link to. So the target page title is the meta title or the meta title from the HTML source. Obviously not every page will have these, most do, so it's generally pretty safe to use it. But that can sometimes, if your comment's written in a certain way, that can help to make it look like it's more genuine, because most people won't think, oh, how is he, he's not going to be able to get the title of the page without visiting. So you can use that. It might aid in getting backlinks from some of the blogs if you're targeting more of the blog platforms rather than the forum, the guest books and image comments and all the other trackbacks and whatnot. Okay, and the target page full URL, that's the full page address of the target that you're sending the post to. Okay, now generally I wouldn't really use the full URL that much. I can see it might be useful in some circumstances, but often, or more often than not, you'd be better off using the target domain as opposed to the full URL, just because it takes up less space, so it's not going to look quite so dodgy. And the target homepage would be the domain, but with the http:// along with it. So personally I'd probably rather use the homepage or the domain, but there are certain circumstances where you may want to use the full URL. Now I skipped over the random search keyword. What this will do is it will take a random keyword from the search keyword list in that profile and insert it into the comment or the post that you're making. Now that's all good and well, but obviously depending on how you set up your profiles, your search keywords won't always be relevant to the page that you're promoting. So again, I'd probably rather use the anchor text rather than the random search keyword, mainly because the anchor text is, or should be, if you've set your profile up correctly, should always be relevant to your page, whereas the search keyword isn't necessarily going to be. Okay, so with being able to do the spinning like that, there really is no reason to not enter your own custom comments. I mean, realistically, you can add in some great relevancy as well as variation, and it may take, say, 5 or 10 minutes to get something written. Now, there's nothing to say that you can't use a tool like Wicked Article Creator or Content Machine or something, any tool that will scrape content. If they're scraping content based on your keyword that you're using as your anchor text, then chances are that they're going to be really relevant. They might not be quite as unique, obviously because the content is taken from somewhere else, but they're generally pretty good, and you'll get better results with them than you would using the built-in comments with No Hands. So yeah, I'd suggest writing your own, but if you have access to a content creation tool, there's no reason why you can't just use them. Anything to save time, really. But if you don't have those tools, writing your own comments after you've done a few really isn't going to take you more than, say, 10 or 15 minutes to get 10 relatively well spun comments that will really help to give you a lot more SEO benefit from your backlinks, which should result in a much better gain in the search rankings. So I hope this video has been helpful to some of you. If you've got any questions or comments, if you've got any video requests that you'd like me to make to show you how to do certain things with No Hands, then by all means get on the support forum at nohandsseo.com/forum, or get in touch with me at support@nohandsseo.com. I'm always happy to help out. If you've got any suggestions or queries, don't hesitate to get in touch. Okay, I hope it's been helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.